In this video, I will explain the blur radius and noise reduction features of PaintMaker's image splitter. Why blur the image before quantization?
If you quantize an unblurred image, you will get too many tiny details that make it unpaintable.
If I zoom in and choose to see the distribution of a single color by selecting a color in the palette and clicking the pin icon, you can see that the amount of unimportant details is overwhelming. Select Show Original to see the original image. If I set the blur radius to 2, you can see that there is much less detail.
Side-by-side view is best for quickly seeing what you are doing. It is important to find the point where the image is blurred enough to be painted, but not so much that important details are lost. Therefore, once you have found the amount of blur that gives a manageable amount of detail, you need to check whether the quantized image contains the details from the original image that you think are important. It is often a challenge to find the right amount of blur. It should be mentioned here that the resolution of the image itself has a big effect on how the blur works. The lower the resolution of the image, the stronger the blur effect. I would recommend setting the longest side of the image to 2000 pixels to maintain a workflow without too much weighting, but still a fine resolution for the purpose. You can fine-tune the blur while you're checking and see the changes immediately, making the job of finding just the right amount of blur quick and easy. Let's try with blur radius set to 1. Check by isolating a color by clicking the pin icon.
That's too little. So let's try 1.5. I think that's fine. At this point, it's time to see if there are any missing colors, but adding colors is not the topic of this video, so I'll just correct a few without commenting. When all the work with the palette and quantization is complete, you can use the noise reduction tool to clean up any unimportant details that have crept in during the quantization.
Noise reduction works on the finished quantized image and has the advantage that the sharp edges between the color layers are not blurred. Let's try with noise reduction set to 1.
That's not enough.
So let's try 2.
I think that's fine. Let's compare with and without noise reduction, side by side. As always, it's a good idea to save the project regularly. Now the image palette is ready. From here, you can either choose to calculate recipes for how the colors can be mixed, or go directly to the Projector page, which you can learn more about in the video, Painting with Projector Explained.